Hi there, everybody. They are making a Legend of Dragoon demake. Not a remake, a demake. They're taking a PlayStation 1 game and they're demaking it down to something like akin to like an SNES game. And I saw this project and I wanted to shine a light on it, mostly because I think it's kind of neat, you know? And I definitely do think that's worth a sub as you come and join my party and you level on up with me. With your sub, your like, and your brand new hype, it helps me out a ton. Thank you so much for that. Personally, I would love to see more RPGs from back in the day, or even modern RPGs now, kind of like get that demake treatment, like the Final Fantasy VII NES demake that we saw in China, or the Dragon Quest XI, where they had the 3D version and then the 2D demake version. It just kind of fascinates me. So let's go ahead and check out this Legend of Dragoon infamous PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy killer right after a word from today's sponsor. Seriously, y'all, if you grew up on games like Illusion of Gaia, Terranigma, or even Secret of Mana, you owe it to yourself to check out Hike Northern Lights, which is today's sponsor, because this one hit me with a wave of nostalgia. And don't be fooled, because I saw a lot of confusion in my review for this game. This isn't like a free-to-play game, and it's not mobile either. This is an SNES-inspired action RPG that is a full console experience. You take on the role of Hike, a witch traveling the world looking for a family, along with her other witch friends, each of them with different powers, skills, playstyles, and abilities. So get ready to explore large, beautifully crafted, detailed stages, filled to the brim with hidden areas, treasures, and all sorts of different secrets to find. Hike Northern Lights just doesn't want to remind you of Illusion of Gaia, it wants to show you what that kind of game can look like today, and it's available on the PC, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 5. So this could be like the closest thing that we get to Quintet's classics making a comeback, so don't sleep on it. Check out the download links in the description and give it a try for yourself, and then tell me what you think. And now, let's get on back to today's video. Right now, this is just a demo that is available, and it only goes up to the Limestone Cave. And the first thing you're going to notice, of course, is that it does use RPG Maker in order to do this. I do kind of wish that they put a little bit more effort into it to make it more of a real project, you know? You do see some of these RPG Maker games out there, but they still get like an Earthbound vibe, or maybe like a Chrono Trigger vibe, or like an HD 2D thing going on. I think that that would be really cool if they were able to do that, and they're actually recruiting people to come and join their team and help them out. So hopefully this can become something really freaking cool, I've gotta say. Also, if you played the original, or really any PlayStation 1 game, you know what some of the issues are with those games. The loading times can just be obscene, the battling can take forever, and sometimes it's kind of hard to know where to go. So hopefully this demake helps out in that regard, but kinda doesn't. Well, the loading time maybe. The battles are still excruciatingly slow, and I got lost many times, but we will get into that. I personally played Legend of Dragoon back whenever I was a teenager. Whenever it came out like 97 or something like that. I was in high school. I played it through twice, you know, and I just thought it was just kind of like average or meh, you know. I feel like sometimes people think that if you don't think that something is, oh my gosh, this thing is freaking amazing, then everybody thinks that you automatically hate it. Like, there's no in-between, you know what I'm saying? This, to me, was a very in-between sort of game. Like, it wasn't, oh, so great, Second Coming or anything, but it also wasn't, like, trash, you know? It was just kind of there. And, yeah, I enjoyed it somewhat, but I don't see what the big deal is about it. So anyway, let's get on into what this game actually offers you. You have regular basic attacks that do like no damage whatsoever, and then there are additions which you can choose separately, and those take up AP. And basically you do these additions and you hit the A button when like the circle gets a little bit smaller but before it disappears, and then you're able to do, you know, an extra hit. And then AP kind of regenerates as you take damage or as you give damage. Just like on the PlayStation, you can only save at save points, and the experience and gold that you receive is pretty much one for one of what they did on the PlayStation, which is to say, you know, you really don't get anything. Like, the experience and the gold is very paltry, But one thing that is not paltry are the inventory limits. Remember how you had like no inventory slots in the original version of the game? Now, because it is an RPG Maker, there is no limit on your inventory, and items can stack. Your healing potions, your magical attack items, things like that will be able to stack, so that is nice. The battling, though, like I said, it is excruciatingly slow. It is so unbelievably slow watching these characters just like take their time. They really need to speed that up. I know that they're trying to kind of, take the spirit of the game, but don't take the bad parts. Take the bad parts and make it better. If you can't do that, at least add in like a fast forward. The guarding still does allow you to recover 10% of your HP, which is imperative, and magic still kind of deals like halfway decent normal damage. You still have to use an item to use the magic. You don't have any magical spells, all that kind of stuff, and thankfully you do not have to press A million billion times to use a spell. You just use the item and you're done. Shauna, of course, does not have access to additions, just like she didn't in the original version of the game. There is a world map that you can see, but you can only go along the pre-described path. You can't actually go off the path of the world map, which kind of sucks, but I guess that, it was the same way in the PlayStation 1, so that's why they did that. The Stardusts are also still in the game, so it's pretty faithful recreation. Battles are random, and there is an indicator over your head telling you, when you will get into a battle. It starts off blue, where you're safe, and then it turns yellow, like caution, and then red, oh my gosh, you're about to get into a battle. That's the only indicator, though, that there is. There is no indicator as far as where you can leave the screen. You have these open screens that it looks like, oh, maybe I can go over here, but you can't. It's just like an invisible wall. So you don't know where you can actually go, I guess. You're in this forest, and it was so confusing. I felt like I was in Lost Woods in the very first zone, because I would leave on the left-hand side of the screen, but then appear on the right-hand side of the screen. So it was normally if I leave on this side of the screen, I would appear on this side of the screen, and keep on going that way. But it was I would leave on this way and then come on this way. It was just very odd, very confusing, knowing where to go and knowing what to do. I felt like the developers expected you to have Legend of Dragoon memorized in your head already in order to know how to get through this demo. And like I said, I haven't played the game in 25 years, so it's been a hot minute for me. So I got lost in the forest, I got lost in the prison, so kind of getting lost was the name of the game, but it was good to go back. They still had the FMVs in there, the music was in there, the storyline and the dialogue was recreated one for one, so it is all there. It just needs some polishing. But again, this is a demo. And not only that, the developers are literally out there asking for help. They have run into some problems, and they do need your help. This is where this video is coming in, me telling you about it, and also telling you that, hey, they need your help. So if you think that you could do a really good job and turn this into something very, very, very special, be sure to reach out to them. I will include a link below to their webpage, to their contact information, because this is such a cool project, and I just have to support it because it's just really freaking cool to me, and I love seeing this sort of stuff. Whenever I was a kid, if I ever thought that I'd ever see anything like this, there'd be no way, you know what I'm saying? But here it is right in front of me, and it's so cool, and I feel like I can do something about it, and I am. So there we go. So if you can help them out, be sure to do so.